Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of the How to Align with and Connect with Your Truest Self video. This is the part where we're going to go into the activation, where I'm going to start saying some words that will activate you at the mental, emotional, and soul levels so that you're completely in alignment with finding and connecting with your truest self. And being connected to your truest self is really beneficial and allows you to live a very meaningful, purposeful, and happy life because you really understand who you are and feel connected to who you are, and that naturally allows you to go out into the world and to go after things that really resonate with who you are and your soul versus trying to like what other people like or figure out who you are based off of what's happening around you. You really are connected to yourself, and so you're drawn to the things that really resonate with you, really light you up. And then you're also drawn to the advice, the criticism, the internal thoughts that guide you to what you would like to develop in yourself so that you really grow to your maximum potential, because your development plan, your growth plan is tailored completely to who you are and your soul growth and mission. And of course, working with me one-on-one will allow me to tailor the guidance and the activation to your personal soul mission and what you most need at this time. But with that, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to connect with your higher selves, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the healing. You're feeling good and in your power, and you're starting to come into yourselves. And that just feels so amazing because it feels like the best thing to really be connected to who you are. When you're connected to who you are, that is when you're truly connected to your soul self, and that is when you feel at your happiest and at your most powerful, at your most capable, your most able, at your strongest, and when you really feel like you can go out into the world and be who you are, conquer what you want to conquer, accomplish what you want to accomplish, and set out to do what you came here to do. And it's just so empowering, it's so uplifting, and it's like a whole new freedom that you haven't felt before because you're listening to who you are, and that's just so beautiful. When we listen to people outside of ourselves first, it can be very, it's like the opposite of freedom, because you're not really trusting yourself, you're not really tuned into yourself, and you're kind of going out there at the whims of what other people think and feel and want. And that's a little bit extreme to say it that way, but when you're really in your power, you can feel that difference. You can feel that confidence, you can feel that inner strength, you can feel that certainty that's within you, that trust in yourself, that knowing that you are going to accomplish what you came here to accomplish. You're going to be who you want to be. You're going to live the life you want to live, and you're going to just feel so fulfilled and just so happy. Come into yourselves, come inside, withdraw a little bit from the outside world. The outside world is wonderful. It's where we can play and have fun, but the inside world is where all of the riches really are. It's where all of our gems are. It's where our strength is, where our beauty is. And when we first connect with that and then go out into the world and play, when we have that connection, everything in our life just feels that much more beautiful because we're connected to our own inner beauty, our own inner strength. And so when you're really connected to that, you are looking at the world from that lens, and the world is looking back at you from that lens because it sees that you really know who you are, that you're really connected, and it admires that because that's something that we're all trying to achieve, and it wants to support that because it admires it so much. And when you really feel connected to yourself, you really want to help bring about that same feeling, that same connection to everybody else in the world around you. And that doesn't mean that you go out there and talk to them about it. It just means that you really live in your truth. You live in who you are. You really feel connected, and you really live by example. You live your life to the best, and that inspires other people to want to live their life to the best because they see it and they admire it and they love it and they enjoy it, and they just get so inspired by it. So really just come into yourself, connect with yourself, enjoy yourself, and still go out into the world, but really give yourself the time. Prioritize yourself. Count yourself as somebody important in your life, and that means really connecting to who you are and giving yourself the time of day to really be with yourself and really feel who you are, and allow that connection with yourself to start bringing up that alignment, those passions, that understanding, the resonance with things that you really enjoy. There is some work that is required. You do need to pay attention. That's actually really the only work that's required, is as things start coming up, as you start feeling better, pay attention to the things that you're drawn to. Pay attention to the things that inspire you, even if it's just for a moment, just an idea, just like, that's an interesting idea. Pay attention to what it is. Maybe follow it, see where it goes. It doesn't need to go anywhere. Just pay attention, observe, be engaged. That's when you interact with the outside world. You connect with yourself internally, and then once the inspiration starts coming, when things start to light up for you, when you start to light up, when you see things in the world, engage with it, understand it, ask questions about it, play with it, just enjoy it, and then move on to the next thing that inspires you. And just keep track, just pay attention and just keep track. And all of these things, as you continue to follow these leads and play around with these things that are resonating with you, that are popping up into your life, that you're now paying attention to, each one leads to something that gets you even closer and closer to your truest self, until you really start to understand who you are. You know what your message is, you feel good, you know what you like, what you don't like, you know how to be in the world and love yourself enough and appreciate yourself enough to be able to do things that maybe you have to do that you don't like, but you are so solid in who you are that it doesn't really bother you. It's just temporary because you know who you are, you love who you are, and you just are just so solid in that nothing can really sway you, nothing can shake you, nothing can push you. You just are who you are, and that's that. You are really powerful beings, so be excited about this journey, because like I was saying before, this connecting with your truest self isn't about you going out into the world and trying to find yourself. It's about all the puzzle pieces already being there. You're just putting them in an order that really makes sense. Just all the pieces starting to click together as you move through life. And this healing is going to help speed that up, help connect you to yourself so that it's clearer and clearer what that picture is. And you don't, like I was saying, you don't have to go out there and find your truest self. It's already there. You're already powerful and you are going to find it. Just really enjoy the process, relax in the process, because you came here to live who you are. And so it's not supposed to be this intensive manhunt to find who you are, figure out yourself, or yeah, just spend an entire lifetime trying to discover who you are, because you came here to be who you are. And so it's there, it's already there, and it's just really a matter of enjoying yourself, getting excited about this, playing with it, just having fun with the whole process. We all have these perceptions of who we think we're supposed to be that have been given to us throughout our childhood and throughout our lives, because like I was saying before, we take information externally first before we trust ourselves, and that was an important thing in our childhood. It helped keep us safe. But we get so accustomed to it that we stop listening to ourselves, and we start having these perceptions of who we think we're supposed to be, what job we're supposed to have, how much money we're supposed to make, what kind of career we want to go into, what kind of friends we're supposed to have, what kind of interests we're supposed to have. And so in the beginning, it can be a little bit difficult to really find that true self, because we're inundated and kind of distracted by all of these outside perceptions. But as I say these words, those perceptions are starting to break away, and they're starting to loosen up, and they're starting to drop and gently let go of whatever grip that they may have on you, so that you can really explore and really be open to understanding who you are, and letting that really start to rise up and come to you and present itself to you in a way that you're just going to really enjoy and be lit up by and be excited by. Because when there is a passion that is truly yours, that truly comes from within, it just lights you up. It just, you can't help yourself. You just have to go for it. And you've just been held back by that for a little while because of the perceptions, just like everybody else. And those are starting to release, like I was saying, and you're starting to be free and you're starting to be open, and all the doors are starting to open for all of those passions, those interests, everything that really resonates and makes you who you are and really lights you up to start coming to you and just like entering your life and being present and making itself visible to you, so you can really resonate with it and just be happy about it and excited about it and want to go chase after it and just feel so fulfilled and just so happy and so excited about your future, excited about your life, excited about what's to come, because you have all these new interests that just like, you just are so excited about them. They just hit you on every level, and you start to glow, and people start to notice that you seem happier, you seem more connected, you seem more in tune, you seem more just you, like you really are allowing yourself to be you, and so you're glowing and you're really projecting yourself, and people are gonna love that. A lot of that stress that's been holding you back from really being able to connect with your truest self is really starting to be let go. It's really starting to drop away, and it's gentle and it's beautiful. But don't be disheartened if things in your life change, if maybe people that you were once close to or you thought you were close to start to separate and you start to go in your different ways or your different paths, or you're not as close anymore, or anything like that, anything in your external reality starting to shift in a way that might feel strange because you've always been around this person and suddenly you just naturally start to grow apart. Like, that's really all part of the process, and it's really a part of you discovering who you are. So just allow things to happen and fall into place as they need to, and really just enjoy the process, because as you start releasing the stress, as you start opening yourself up to who you truly are, things are going to shift for you to allow that to really become your reality, to really become your life. And this is actually what you truly want. And when people start to fade and you and your friends or whatever it is start to separate, that's actually something that you truly want, because you're now in alignment with who you really are. And so you're gonna start bringing in people who are in alignment with that as well, and you're gonna start shedding, I guess, people who aren't. And that's not to say that they are not good people, that they aren't worthy, that they shouldn't be in your life. It's just that naturally, because you're in tune with who you are and they're on their own journey, you will start to separate, and your life will start to craft itself around who your true self is. And it'll feel strange, but that might be because it also feels really natural. It will just naturally happen. And actually, I think some of these people may even come back at a later time as you continue to become more and more of yourself, because they will come back to you, but you'll see a different side of them. You'll see a side of them that really resonates with who you are, like who you are now. And so it's actually really a nice process. It's very natural, and it can really bring about like better relationships with the people in your life in many cases, because you were kind of one person before where you were not really listening to who you are, and so you had these people in your life who were very important to you, but they were matched to you based off of who you were at that point in time. Then as you start to become who you really are, they start to separate, and then they can come back and now match to you again, but on the level of where you are right now. And so it's like an enhanced life experience for everybody, because you can really feel connected to them, and then in turn they can really feel connected to you, because that energetic exchange gets passed both ways. And so yeah, really enjoyed this process. Just really go with it. Allow things to fall into place as they do, and as they will, because everything really works out for the kind of life that you want to live. And so just really relax. Like, all the stress is starting to be released. Just really relax into it, enjoy it, and go with it. And just really allow it to be what it wants to be, because it's really gonna be what you really want it to be deep down at your core truest self. This is a journey just like any other journey, but and it has and it's not easy, but it is definitely the most fulfilling one, the one that will bring about the most happiest outcomes in the long term and also in the short term. And it really is the one that you came here to live and experience. It's really you living your fullest life, the one that you, again, wanted to live and really want to live. And you've decided what you want to live for as many years as you've been alive on this planet, and maybe even longer. And so your truest self knows everything that you want. And so, and there are many things that you've forgotten that you wanted, right? Maybe you wanted something when you were a little kid. You wanted some part of your future to be in a certain way that you've forgotten now, but it's still there. It's still something that your core self really wants for this lifetime, and it will start to show up as you really start to align with yourselves. So really enjoy this process. Like I said, have fun. It's a journey, and like I was saying, it's not always easy, but nothing worth doing was ever easy. But it is really enjoyable. It is really fun. It's worth it, and it's very fulfilling. And if you want to really be happy and feel purposeful in your life and be excited about where you're going, be excited about your future, then this is the way to go. So I'm going to go ahead and end the healing and activation right here. I hope this was helpful. Let me know how this has affected you, and I will catch you guys in my next video.